The Waiting Room was written as a radio play 20 years ago. I wrote it. The inspiration for The Waiting Room is everybody's frustration with some sort of bureaucratic moment where you're in a waiting room. That's the simple structure. The deeper structure is people are put in places and they don't know why they're there. And in this case, we have 4 different characters who are confined. It's very Twilight Zone-esque and Kafkaesque, but we're seeing what these 4 different characters, how they handle not knowing what's going on and trying to decide why they're there. So it's bigger questions of, for the audience, why are we here? What are we watching? Are we watching life? Are we watching death? We don't know. And that's what the concept was, letting the actors run with that.
Excuse me? My name is Evers. I have an appointment.
And you are?
My name is Evers, Madeline Evers.
Do you have an appointment?
You're not listening, are you?
Well, you either have an appointment or you don't.
I have an appointment. I've already told you that.
Well, if you don't have an appointment, then you'll have to make one. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are real busy here.
But I have an appointment.
So you have an appointment?
Yes, yes, yes.
Saved a lot of time if you told me that in the beginning. All right. Name?
Evers, Madeline Evers.
Tell you what, why don't you take a seat down in the waiting room, please, Miss Everst, and it's just down the hallway. Take a right and go through those doors, then all the way down the next hallway left and go through the curtains. We'll call you when it's your turn.
Well, looky here, Mrs. Zazen. We have company. Hello, come in. Don't be shy.
I'm fine, thank you.
Come along, have a seat. We're getting up a game of pinochle.
No, thank you.
Oh, good game, pinochle. Took me a while to learn.
Is she in this hand or not, Mr. Adams?
Well, why don't you ask her yourself? Although she is a bit standoffish.
I'm not.
Are you in this hand, dear?
I don't have time for that. I have an appointment.
Oh, dear. Each of us has an appointment.
I, for one, have an appointment with destiny.
That's rendezvous. I've told you that before, Mr. Adams.
But I like appointment better.
Can we cut all the talk and get back to the game?
Oh, Mr. Frog, you're always so impatient.
I'm not impatient. Somebody just deal.
How long have you been here?
I know. That's hard to say.
Very hard to say. Mr. Frog?
What?
This lady wishes to know how long you've been here.
Why is she picking on me?
I wasn't picking on anyone.
I wasn't doing anything. I was just trying to play a little pinochle. Why can't people leave other people alone? I hate people. who annoy people.
They're the luckiest people.
I don't think she meant anything by it, Mr. Frog.
Her types never do.
Oh, now you're being a little overly sensitive. Been here too long.
Not as long as you.
No one's been here as long as Mr. Adams.
How long have you been here?
Oh, a good while now. Longer than the others, I'm told. Why do you ask?
Well, aren't you curious?
No, I just take my place and wait. They'll call me when it's my turn.
Your time comes, they call your name, and poof, off you go. Remember when they called Mary Jane Esweather?
Esweather. Esweather, I don't recall an Esweather.
Oh, Mr. Adams, of course you remember her. She sat right there. Pale skin, mousy brown hair.
Big boobs.
Mr. Frog remembers Mary Jane Esweather.
I remember her boobs.
What happened to her?
She was called.
To her appointment with destiny. Whose deal is it?
But how long did she wait?
How long did who wait?
This Edgewater woman you're talking about.
Esweather. The one with the big boobs.
Yes, Mr. Frog, we know.
Not so long as I recall,
Longer than some.
but less than most. About average.
Still, she seemed happy when she was called.
Relieved is more like it. She was always so sad waiting. It's so sad when people are so sad.
Oh, will you look at that? She took the Eater's Digest with her.
Should we report it?
It's too late now. She's already gone. Still, I can't figure out how she took it with her.
Who cares?
Oh, dear. They say you can never take it with you.
Wait your turn, play pinochle while you wait, and don't take anything with you. All will be provided for.
But it makes you wonder.
Wonder what?
Mr. Frog? Mr. Frog, to the reception area, please.
Oh no, that's me.
Mr. Frog, to the reception area.
They are calling you. How odd.
There must be some mistake. Hey, don't you mean Mr. Adams instead?
Frog. Mr. Frog, to the reception area now.
I suppose I should go, but I don't like it.
Where are you going, Mr. Frog?
Where? Don't be so damn smug.
She isn't smug, she's new. Someone arrives and someone leaves. That's how it's always worked.
I just needed more time.
Last call for Mr. Frog. Don't make us come gather you.
Well, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Whose deal is it?
Oh, I believe it was Mr. Frog's deal, but now it would be this young lady's turn.
Take Mr. Frog's seat. Pinochle's the game. I trust you know the rules.
Some, but honest, I'm not much good at it.
No one ever is, dear. Now, if you would continue where Mr. Frog left off.
But why? I mean, knowing that we're not going to be here for more than a short wait? Why do anything? It seems so pointless.
Pointless?
No matter how much we win or lose, it won't mean anything when they call us.
I never thought of that before. Or if I did, I've forgotten it. Oh well, it's your deal, dear.
I'll play, but I don't see the point.
Oh, you look at this, will you? She didn't take it with her after all.
Well, if that doesn't make you wonder.
No, it doesn't. Are we going to talk or play pinochle?
Pinochle.
Okay, shall we play to, what, 1500?
Oh, let's just play and see where it takes us.
How can you play without a goal? It doesn't make sense.
Very little does in the waiting room. Isn't that so, Mr. Adams?
Wouldn't know, Mrs. Zazen. I just play pinochle and wait.
Excuse me. My name is Hargrove. I have an appointment.
We shot it in Ankeny, Iowa, and in a living room. We searched for a place to shoot it, and we just created the waiting room in his living room, essentially. And it was a very tight place to work. And we spent days decking out the living room to make it look like a waiting room with the paintings on the wall and the type of furniture. Coming up with that speaker took forever. Coming up with the little security camera you'll see in the movie. Lots of details went into this. A lot of pre-production on that. And then setting up the lighting in this small room to get everybody lit all around there, and then deciding what the camera moves were going to be in this small room. A lot of it on tripod because you can't really move. There were wires, there were lights, there were C-stands all on the way there. So it was a very tight production. And if you look at some of the stills we took done during the shoot, you see me crammed in there as director, talking to actors, and then stepping back a few inches so Brad can shoot. And Brad did all the shooting and the editing later. The exterior scenes were shot in Osceola and at Simpson College in Indianola, and those are relatively straightforward types of shoots. And as a director, I've had to learn in radio and in film that, yeah, I wrote the script and I'm in love with every word, please don't change it, but the minute you give it to the actors, it goes out of your hands, and you have to be willing to see what they do and let them be creative. Even though we're shooting in a tight office, a waiting room, you have to let their talents expand way out there. And if they get too far out, you say cut and you bring them back. But mostly what they do is they bring something else to it. They might even put it on a different line that works better than what's written there. So it's a collaborative, creative process. It's just wonderful about filmmaking.